All right, how's it going, people? We're on lesson 3.4. We are doing coordinate planes review. Some of us may have seen this before, but if you have not, let's jump right in though. So a couple vocabulary words you need to know is the Cartesian coordinate plane. It's a two-dimensional plane that is formed by the intersection of two perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines make a 90-degree, and it has the x and the y axis. So the x axis is horizontal. So to give you a little reference for what that horizontal is, our left to right or side to side, and our y axis is vertical. It's our up and down axis. Okay, so those are the two axes. I don't know if it's axis or axes. I don't know. But those are the two axes on the actual coordinate plane. You also have order pairs. Order pairs is how you actually plot the points. It's a pair of numbers essentially where the order of the objects is important, written as x and y. So it does matter which one is x, which one is y. It tells you where to go, and then your origin is at the 0, 0 port. So those are your vocabulary words. I'm going to start off with a little engage. So jump into that IXL skill right here. You're going to spend about 10 to 15 minutes there. But after you've done that, you're going to jump back in this lesson as well. So explore. It says analyze the items graphed on the coordinate below. Then answer the questions that follow. So order pair. Remember x, y, they're always in that order. X come first, Y. So you always go left and right first, then you go up and down. So it says write the order pair for each of the items. So color here, we're gonna use red. We're looking for this pair here. Let's make a star here. Here, we have our pair here. There we go, that's what you're looking for. So you go down at the bottom, you see 9, okay? And then you go up to where that pair is intersecting, 7. So the order pair would be 9, 7. Okay, not 7, 9. Pineapple. So we're looking for this pineapple now. So here's our pineapple. And it's at 5, 2. See that? 5, 2. And then we have our broccoli. This is our broccoli here. Our broccoli is here. Our broccoli is also at 9. But it's at 5. So it's at 9, 5. Remember the x coordinates first. You see our x is here. Y coordinates last. They don't have it labeled here, but they usually will have a y right there. Okay. So part B. It says write the food item located at each order pair. So now they're giving us the order pair, and they're saying write what food item is there. So we're looking for 3, 4. This guy right here. So if we come over to 3, here's 3, and then we got to go up to 4 right here. So this is, it looks like it is a radish. Okay. And that is our item right here. If you don't know, we can put a star here for the green so you know it's green. Now we're gonna look for 2, 7, 2, and then we gotta go up to 7 here. Oh, look, it's our watermelon here. So that's our watermelon. And last but not least, we have 5, 6. So you come over to 5, because remember we go x first. And sometimes it may be easier for you to label these x, y, x, y, x, y. So you know which one direction you're going. So 5 and then 6. Here's our 5, 6. It's our pumpkin. Alright, so that is essentially how you plot points. So that's kind of a brief overview, but let's jump in. So key point number 1, the coordinate plane setup, okay? So here you have the X and the Y. What I like to say is our X is our horizontal. So that is our left to right. And maybe my horizontal was supposed to go here, but I'm gonna say left to right or side to side. My y-axis, that's our vertical. And that is actually our up and down. So up and down axis. It's not really a way, not left to right or anything like that, but it's literally up and down or, moving vertically. Key point 2, when graphing on the coordinate plane, the coordinate is always written in XY format. So it's always any coordinate you come across that they give you. The X is in the first spot, Y is in the second spot. You always find the X value first on the X axis by walking, the side to side. And then you use the Y to climb. You going up and down on your axis, how high you're gonna go. You won't go do so much negative or down in this instance because we don't deal with negative numbers in sixth grade just yet. Not on the coordinate plane, I should say. So let's see if you won. So complete the practice below. It says plot and label each point on the coordinate grid. So this is important for you to kind of pay attention to because you need to know how to plot them, but you also need to know how to label them. So on tests, they will ask you to label them. Okay. So for example, we'll start off with number 1 here. This guy here, T. We're looking for 3, 3. So you come over 1, 2, 3. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna erase that so it doesn't stay there forever. And 1, 2, 3. So that would be here. 3, 3. And how we would label that is point. You just put the name of it. That's point T right there. Okay, so that you know that's how you do that, guy. Point number 2. 1, 8. So 1 up to 8. So we went side to side 1, and then we went vertically or went up to 8. And that's going to be S. Sorry about that. All right. Let's do H. That's 2, 8. 2, 8. And I try to keep my labels inside of the boxes because we know that eventually you may have to put a point on that line. So I try not to put my labels on the line. E, 6, 2. Okay. I encourage you to pause the video at this point and graph the rest of the points, and then check your work with me. R, 5, 4. R, L, 7, 6. That's L. Alright, now M, 3, 1. V is 9, 5. 9, 5 here. P, 7, 1. I'm sure it's not taking you as long because I'm switching colors. A is 4, 7. 4, 7 here. Okay. So that's essentially how you plot points on there. Occasionally you will see folks actually label them with the coordinates as well. So you'll see like 4, 7. Different things like that. Essentially, that's how you plot and label. All right, CFU2. I didn't skip anything, did I? No. Okay, determine which coordinate plane A, B, C, or D answers each question below. Okay. So we have our XY, we have our CFU kind of start at the origin, 0, 0. The X value is the distance you move left to right. Got it. So now, we'll zoom out just a tad so we can see our questions. Okay, how many questions? We got 5, all right, cool. So, first, which coordinate plane has a shape at 7, 1? So we can start at up here at A. I'll zoom out just a tad. A. So 7, 1 would be here. There is nothing there. 7, 1 here, nothing there. 7, 1 here, nothing there. 7, 1 here. All right, so D has 1 at 7, 1. Because it's right here, this little X. You see that X right there? Okay, which coordinate has a shape at 2, 3? 2, 3. He has 1 here. D does not. So C definitely has 1. 2, 3. Nothing there. 2, 3. Nothing here in A. All right, so number 3. Which coordinate has a shape at 0, 4? So start at A. I'm going to start at A every time now. Sorry about that last time. A does not have nothing there. B does. As our triangle here. C does not. And D does not. So that one would be B. Which coordinate has a shape at 1, 10? So you come over to 1, go up to 10, nothing there. 1, 10, nothing there. 1, 10, nothing on D. And 1, 10. Yeah, C has our star right there. So that will be C as well. And which coordinate plane has a shape up at 10, 5? So starting at A, we go 10. They have one at 4, not at 5. So tricky. B, 10. There's nothing on 10. Come over here. 10, 5. We have one on C. 10. There's 5. Nothing there. So this one would be C as well. There you go. So not a whole lot of calculations going on right now. It's just a matter of, can you read the graph? Can you plot the points? You can graph points from a table. So now you create your ordered pairs. When you have a table like this, you will have some tables. We saw a little bit of this when we started working with ratios. You will have some tables, and you would create those ordered pairs from the points or the data information on the table. So you create those ordered pairs from the table, and then you plot each point. So if you look at the table here, they had 0 and 1, and they made that into the coordinate pair 0, 1. Notice that the X, 0 is first, and the Y, 1 is second. Okay? They did the same thing for all these. And they put the points on there. And we can finish what they didn't put on. They put everything. So they have 0, 1, it's here. They have 3, 6. They have 10, 8, and then 14, 10. They're all on there. So now let's jump down here to the CFU. Let's put ours on. First, make our point coordinates. So we have 0, 10. Notice how your coordinates, they go in parentheses. This one here would be 5, 6. This one would be 8, 7. And this one would be 15, 0. All right, so let's plot those. 0, 10, be right here. 5, 6, be right here. 8, and up to 7, right here. And 15, at 0. We stay on 0 down here. And there you go. There's your coordinates. So when you interpret these points on the coordinate plane, use the title of the axis and problem scenario to identify the units of x and y. Okay? So sometimes it will give you different units that go along with the x and y, so you use those to actually identify the units. Okay? Example of this, if you look at this graph, they're talking about time and temperature here. So Keisha and Tom are conducting a science experiment. Their teacher asked them to place a beaker full of water over a flame and take the temperature reading each minute while it heats up for 7 minutes. The graph below shows their results. So it says, what does the x-axis represent? Remember, our x-axis is here, our horizontal axis. So our x-axis represents our time. Our y-axis is here, going up and down. So that is our temp, or temperature. Okay. So it says, interpret the 3 circle coordinates on the graph using complete sentences. So if we were to look at this, this means that right here, this would be 0 minutes. The temperature of the water was 20 degrees Celsius. So we can write that in a sentence. At 0 minutes, so basically before we started heating it, they measured it before. So at 0 minutes, I know it's minutes because look, here's my units. So it is time, but my units are minutes, and temperature is units are Celsius. At 0 minutes, the water temp, let's bring that to the next line. Temperature was 20 degrees Celsius. Now B, our second point was here. So this is at 3 minutes. Our water was at, and this is important here. So look, it's not 30 and it's not 40. It's right in between. So you have to use your good math analytical skills to know that that's 35 right in the middle. So at 3 minutes, the water temperature was 35 degrees Celsius. And then the last one, we were at 6 minutes and we came up here to 50. So at 6 minutes, whoops, spelled that wrong. The water temperature was 50 degrees Celsius. There you go. That's kind of how you interpret that graph using the units and the x and y axis. So let's try it. Again, when it's your turn on these CFUs, I encourage you to stop the video, kind of try it out, and then come back and see what you came up with. So I'm going to keep going. The x-axis here, it represents days of practice. Tells you right there. And our y-axis is amount of time. And our unit is minutes. So interpret the 3 circles. So A says after 2 days of practice here, on our second day, days of practice. So on our second day of practice, Brian practiced his tuba for 30 minutes. So on Brian's second day, of practice, he spent 30 minutes. And then for B, he's at 5 days. On his 5th day of practice, he spent 15 minutes. On Brian's 5th day practice, he spent 15 minutes. Now, for this last one, he's at 6 on his 6th day of practice, right? And if you go up, you will notice that he spent 40 minutes. And another way you can write this is in all the sentences. Brian spent 40 minutes of practice time on his 6th day. So different ways you can write that sentence. So what you're interpreting is how many days or what day he was on in practice and how many minutes he spent. So when you are interpreting these graphs, that's what you're looking for, is what are the units on each side of the graph. All right, so now we're going to match some tables with some graphs. You're going to have to do this quite a bit, especially on the exams like STAR and MAP. So your CFS over here says, identify the titles on the X and Y axis. Make sure they actually match up and correspond, right? And then you're going to write the order pairs from the given representation. Compare those order pairs to each answer choice, and then match it to the answer choice with the same order pairs. So what they mean by that is identify the titles first. So our titles is number of soft pretzels, total cost. So number of soft pretzels should be on the x-axis. All of them have numbers soft pretzels on the x-axis. And then total cost should be y. All of them also have that. So no worries there. So now let's actually write out the coordinates. So this one here would be 1, 350. This one would be 2, $7. This one would be 3 pretzels for $10.50. And then this last one would be 4 pretzels for $14. Okay? So those are our coordinates. Let's see. 1, 350. So looking at F, 1 pretzel, they don't have anything here. Okay? So for me, I can already tell that this one is not right. There's nothing on $1. I mean, 1 pretzel right here. But we know how much 1 pretzel is. Same thing here, number of pretzels. There's nothing here. So this one's not right either. Alright, so now we got 1 pretzel here. Alright, so there's something here. But this says that 1 pretzel is equal to what? $4. That's not true. So I don't think that one's it. We can put a question mark here just in case. We can come back and look. So here, $1 here. Go up. Oh, it's more than 3, less than 4. So I would say that's about $3.50, right? So I agree with that. Let's check a few more points. Let's check 3, and then $10.50. Yep, that's it. So J would be our answer. G is also wrong. All right, let's do another one. Remember, give yourself a shot. Check your answers before you just, not check your answers, but try it out before you just check. An airline charges passengers a fee for each bag taken on the plane. The graph shows the relationship between an amount of money in dollars and the number of bags taken on the plane. Which table represents is represented by the graph. One thing I like to do here is I come in here and I actually write the coordinates. So 2, and because 2 here, that's our x. And then if we go over here in the middle, that's in between 40 and 60, so this would be about 50. Okay. So now 4 and 100. So 4 and 100. Now let's do this one. 6. It's past, and this is about past 140, but not quite 160. That's up here. So this one would be 6 and 150. So now we see, do we see any of those? 2 and 45, maybe, because it is in between there, so we can put a question mark, but I think it's 50. Oh, here's a 2 and 50 with C. So this is definitely a potential. 2 and 45, 2 and 50. So I'm going to say these are out, because we know that that's 2 and 50. Now look, got 4 and 100. 4 and 100. Oh, see? So this is too important to look at right here. So look, C and D, they have the same numbers, but the X and Y. So you need to identify the X and Y. So our X right here goes with number of bags, right? So it should be how many we are actually moving over with. So our X is for number of bags. So right now, look at this, number of bags, they have 50 here. And 50 is not our number of bags, right? It would be 2, 4, and 6 is our number of bags. And that's not what you see on C. So look here, we got 2, 4, 6. So this is our X and this is our Y. Because X is our number of bags. It tells us right here. And our Y is our dollars. So Y should be here. There you go. So D is your answer. X is out. All right. So also get with your teacher to see which group you're going to be working towards. Especially for my class, we're all going to do the elaborate questions, and then we're going to move to IXL for a little additional practice there. And if you need to do something otherwise, your teacher will give you those instructions. So let's jump into the elaborate. Not many questions. We got 3. Let's see what we got. That's 5, 7. Oh, just 8 questions. Let's knock them out. All right, match each term to its description. Write the correct term in each box. Not all terms will be used. So you need to drag 3 terms here, but not all of them will be used. So the vertical line on the coordinate grid. The vertical line on the coordinate grid. Okay, so the vertical line, remember, if we're looking at the coordinate grid, this is our X, this is our Y. Our vertical line is here. That means up and down. Horizontal line is here. So that will be our Y axis right here. So this should be Y axis. The first number in an ordered pair. So our ordered pair, remember, is this set up here. Okay, so that would be our first number would be our X coordinate. So X coordinates, the point where the horizontal axis intersects the vertical axis. So horizontal axis intersecting the vertical axis would be here, otherwise known as 0, 0, or otherwise known as the origin. The origin is our 0, 0 point where they intersect. There you go. Number 2, which statement is not true about the coordinate grid? Which statement is, again, not true about the coordinate grid? The vertical number line is the y-axis. We just said this was the y-axis up here at number 1, so we know that this one is true. in a coordinate grid, the x-axis and the y-axis are perpendicular to each other. We also know this is true. We read that in our definitions. Perpendicular means that they make a 90-degree angle, like a square. C, the x-coordinate is the second number in the ordered pair. We know that our ordered pair, remember, is xy. The x number is the first number. So this one is false. And then the origin is the intersection of the x-axis. Again, we just learned that up top. We just did that in question 1. Where our intersection is, this is called the origin. So this one is true. So our answer would be C. All right, moving right along. Carousel rides. Which graph best represents the data shown in the table? Remember, write your coordinates out and then match up the coordinates. So for this one here, I'm gonna switch up the color a bit. So this one, our x and y, look, x is here, y is here. So this is first coordinate, this is second coordinate. So it should be written out 1, 250. So for one ticket, it costs $2.50. For 2 tickets, it costs $5. 3 tickets, $7.50. And for 5 tickets, it was $12.50. Alright, so those are our coordinates. Remember, these are our x's, these are our y's. Remember, x's go side to side. So our x's should be our number of tickets, which is down here. So here we have 1 here, and it comes up. He's in between 2 and 4. So if you count these out, you know that that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So this one says 1 for $3. That's not what we wrote out. We have 1 for $2.50. So let's hook here. So this is 1 going up, and it's in between 2 and 3, so that is $2.50. So this is potential. Let's check this one. This is 1, goes up. Oh, that is also $2.50. That's potential. And this is 1, and this is at 2, so this is out 2. So both of those are out. Now let's look at our second. All right, 2 and $5. Let's change colors. 2. Whoa, that is $5. So that one's still in the running. 2, also $5 right there in the middle between 4 and 6. So still in the running. So to the next point. We need 3 and $7.50. So 3, this is 6, this line would be 7 if we zoom in. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry about that. If you zoom in, this line would be 7, and then this would be about $7.50, so that's pretty accurate there. So let's see. Same here, 3. This one's in the middle here, so that is also about $7.50. Oof. So you got to check all the way to the end on this one. 5 and $12.50. So let's see. This is 5 here. Let's go straight up. Then it says $12.50, but this is 11. This is 12. So it's not even quite 12. So I think this one may be done. Let's check our bottom one here. So 5. And it's above 12. That's about $12.50. So our answer is G. Remember, we were just matching up the points here. All right, number 4. There are 2 shapes drawn on the coordinate grid as shown. Which ordered pair represents a point that is inside both shapes? Okay, so you're looking for a point that is inside both shapes. So what I would do off of the top is, look, this is what's inside of both shapes right here. That little piece right there. Because out here, this is just a square, and out here, this is just our hexagon. We're looking for something in that green area. So let's look. 3 3.5 or 3.5 and 5.5. So 1, 2, 3. So 3.5 would be somewhere here. All right. So if we come up looking for 5.5, 5.5 would be, let's change colors. So 3, and then 5.5 would be more than 5, so it'll be somewhere in here. I think that's pretty accurate though. So that's potential. 5.5, so we'll be here. Remember, these are x's, these are y's. So 5.5 would be up in here. Well, we know that's not even close because it's not in our hexagon, so that's done. 4.5 and 2.5. Okay. 4.5 is here, coming up. And then 2.5 is only about here. So, nah, that's out too. And then D, 2.5 and 4.5. It's about there. Nope, outside the box. So our answer would be A. Okay, number 5. Jim plotted the following ordered pairs on a coordinate grid: 1, 3, 3, 6, 7, 6, and 9, 3. Jim connected the points with line segments to form a polygon. Which point is located inside the polygon? So for a question like this, you have to graph your points. This is X, this is Y, this is X, this is Y, this is X, this is Y, this is X, this is Y. Because what they're saying is he plotted these. So 1, 3, right here. 3, 6, right here. 7, 6, right here. And then 9, 3, right here. And then they say Jim connected the points with line segments. So here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. All right. And now they want to know which point is located inside the polygon. So it has to be something inside of the shape. So 4, 5. 4 coming up. There's 5 right here. So 4, 5 is here. So that's potential. 8, 6. 8. 6. And it's out here, so that's wrong. Whoops. 5, 7. 5. Look, we're already out here. 7. 5, 7's there. That's out. And then D is 3, 1. 3 and 1. It's out. So our answer had to be A. That's out. All right, last couple problems. 3 points are plotted on the coordinate grid. Which table represents the data plotted on the graph? All right, so again, make sure you know your X's and Y's and make sure you have them in the appropriate place. So your X is here, your Y is here, and then look, you have X, X, they're labeled, and then the Y's are labeled. So what you can do is start at the first point. So your first point, your first X point should be 3 over 2. So here they have X, 3 over 2 as a Y. So we know that's not right. Does anybody else have that? Nope, the rest have X as 3 over 2. Then it should be 6 over 2 for that Y corresponding coordinate. So it should be 3 over 2, 6 over 2. We're good here. 3 over 2, 6 over 2, that's good. Oh, but this one was wrong, because it was in the wrong spot. So that is not good, so let's erase that. But this one is good. 3 over 2, 6 over 2, 3 over 2, 6 over 2. All right, next point. 9 over 2, and it should be connected to 12 over 2 in the y spot. So 9 over 2 is our next x. Well, I got 6 over 2 here, so this one is wrong. So 9 over 2, 12 over 2. This one is good, that one's good. Now, last point, 15 over 2. It's 18 over 2y. 15 over 2x, 15 over 2y. So this has 15 over 2, 15 over 2. Our y should be 18 over 2. So this one's wrong. And this one is our correct answer. They have the 18 over 2. All three check out. All right, last couple problems. Which graph best represents the ordered pairs? All right. So again, we have our ordered pairs here. Let's go ahead and write them out. 0.52. This is 1, 2.5. This one is 1.53. This one is 2.54. Now we're looking for those points. So first is 0.52. So 0.5 will be less than 1 in between, halfway between 0 and 1. So here, there is no point on this line. So we know this one's wrong. So now we got 0.5 here. So it is a point here. So it should be 0.52. Well, that actually matches up. So that's potential. This one here, 0.52. That matches up. There's potential. This one, no 0.5 on the line. So they actually have 0.5 as the y. So that one's wrong. All right. So now we only got 2 left. So now we need 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5 in between. So that one checks out. 1, 2.5. That one checks out. 1.5, 3. So 1.5 is here in between 1 and 2 and lines up with 3. That's safe. This one here, also safe. Now we have 2.5, 4. So 2.5 would be here. Oh, and this one actually does have 4, so that one's, and this one's on 2. Look at that. So that's wrong. So because 2.5 would be here. There's no line, no point there. All right, so our answer would be C. All right, last question. A table of ordered pairs is shown. Which graph represents these ordered pairs? All right, same thing we just did. Write out your ordered pairs. I'm gonna zoom in a bit so I can write these a little bit better. So we got 2, 1/2, 5, 3, 1/2, 7. Sometimes you might need to write them out to the side. So let's say I wanted to write these out to the side. I got 2, 1/2, 5, so I can get more space. And I have 3, 1/2, 7, 4, 1/2, 9, 5 and 1/2, 11, and the last one would be 6 and 1/2, 13. Alright, so now let's look at these graphs. First one is 2 and 1/2 and 5. So 1, 2 right here in the middle, 2 and 1/2 and 5. That's actually checks out, so that's potential. 2 and 1/2 lining up with 5, also potential. This first point is at 1 and 5. That's wrong. And then we got 2.5 and 5. That one checks out. So we got 3 potentials. All right. So let's look. The next one is 3.5 and 7. So 3 in between 3 and 4 would be 3.5. There is no point on this line, so that one's done. So in between 3 and 4, now we got one here, and it actually lines up with 7. That one's still in the running. 3.5 actually lines up with 7, also still in the running. Okay. Now 4.5, 9. So 4.5 in between 4 and 5, and this one is at 9. That one's good. In between 4 and 5, 4.5 and 9. That one's also good. Now let's check 5.5. 5.5 in between 5 and 6. And 11. That's good. In between 5 and 6. And 11. That's good. Comes down to the last point. 6.5 and 13. That one's good. 6.5 would be here. There is no point on that line. They have it on 7, so this is wrong. H is your correct answer. You obviously won't. Once you get really good at these, you won't have to draw every single line, but it's good practice in the beginning. All right, guys, that's it for this lesson. I hope you actually learned something. If you missed something, definitely pause, rewind, go back, and see what you need. All right, I'll see y'all later.